Hey folks, how's it going? It's Alex once again from beautiful Castle Rock State Park here in the Santa Cruz Mountains of California. Formerly part of ancestral Ohlone tribal lands. Now, the Ohlone is a larger group. The closer tribes here specifically include the Atchistaka village site and the Scianti people, who probably would have used it mainly for black oak acorn harvesting. Lots of excellent black oak woodland up here, and they make some of the best acorns for using for different as a food staple. As possibly other tribes would have been allowed to come up here as well. Difficult to say. There are a lot of complicated political relationships between the tribes here in this part of California, but we are on Ohlone ancestral lands, so want to thank them. Now, we're here also in modern day Santa Cruz County area. So if you are not from the area and you don't know where exactly we are, you might want to hit up Google Maps or whatever online map service you can use and find us. We are Castle Rock State Park in Los Gatos, California. Now, we're not really in the city of Los Gatos, but that's the closest one. That's our address, so that's how you can find us. We're right between the Santa Cruz area and the San Jose area and the Bay Area just to the north. Now, before I get into today's video, I want to talk a little bit about the ongoing coronavirus situation in regards to the park here. Certain parks in Santa Cruz County, certain state parks in Santa Cruz County are still open, at least to foot traffic and bicycle traffic, to people who live within walking and biking distance. Unfortunately, Castle Rock, not one of those parks. We are fully closed, trails included, as well as nearby Big Basin and Portola Redwoods state parks. So those are closed. So I do apologize. That is part of our ongoing plan, our ongoing efforts to flatten the curve here in California. And you can find more updates about that, both, of course, on the news and as well at our different social media pages. All of the parks here in the area tend to have a Facebook and Instagram. You can check out specific park-related updates there, and you can go to the official state parks website at www.parks, that's with an S, .ca for California, .gov.gov. So that's slash at the end, slash flatten the curve. www.parks.ca.gov/flatten the curve, all one word. So that's where you can get a list of closures for parks and find out the exact ways in which the Department of Parks and Recreation is helping to flatten the curve and do our best for people. And so at this point, I would like to apologize because it might be a little bit lame me telling you you can't come here and look where I am in the beautiful nature of it all. So I do apologize. I'm out here as part of my job, and luckily that includes, besides just enforcing the hard closure, sharing the nature with everybody. So I really appreciate all of your understanding and those of you who are watching this video, and I do apologize if because I get it. I had been sheltering in place myself, and I'm very lucky to be able to be out here in the natural resource and to be working out here. So just want to thank everybody for that, and yeah. Okay, great. Well, so now let's get into our video this week. Now, before I tell you what the theme, the topic of conversation is going to be, I thought I might have a special guest performance to give you a little hint as to what it is. So I'm gonna have this guest performer play a little song, and if you can, go ahead and guess in the comments and see if you can figure out what song I'm playing. I see. Oh, hey, Fred. How's it going, Fred? So, Fred, you might have an advantage. I'm not seeing a lot of people right now, so you've got a leg up. Maybe you can guess this tune. All right, everybody else, see if you can beat Fred. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm sorry. I would like to introduce my friend, the Saxplorer. Here we go. Just give him a round of applause, everybody. Okay, let's give him a round of applause. Wow, that was beautiful and totally a completely different person. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Oh, yes, very good. Correct. Ooh, and Marilyn comes in for the win. That is correct. Bonus point for Fred, because he did name the band, although Marilyn, I'm sure if you recognize the song, you knew the band too. Very good, thank you. Yes, that was Blackbird by the Beatles, and so that is my segue into this video, which is, I like to call, Castle Rock is for the birds. I thought while we were here, we could go for a short nature walk and see if we can find any of the many birds that call Castle Rock home. Now, we've got all kinds of them here. This is a great destination for birders, looking for bird watchers, if you will. And because we have so many, being near the coast, but in the mountains, and with many, many ecosystems. I talked about 6 distinct ecosystems just within the park here in our video last week. If you want to check that out, that's on Facebook and YouTube. So on the many birds here, now we've got all kinds due to our ecosystems that provide all kinds of different food for birds that are migrating, just passing through, or that live here year-round, even through the winter. We have birds that mainly, we have small birds, we have big birds, we have birds that eat insects, birds that eat berries, birds that eat all kinds of things, including other birds. Right here, just in this area near the Waterfall Connector Trail here in Castle Rock Park, I have seen many different varied kinds of birds just here in the past few weeks even. So we might get lucky on our walk and we might find some of those birds. And if we do, we're in for a real treat. Why don't we get started here? Okay, walking down. It is a beautiful day here in the park. As you can see by some of the blue skies behind me. Now, since this is a totally random walk looking for wild animals, I can't promise anything. I don't know if we're going to find anything at all. So I don't know if we... Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. Do you guys see that? Look, do you hear that? Oh, look, quick. Look at this. Oh, man, this is awesome. We are so lucky. Look at that. Wow. Wow, look at that wild turkey. That is beautiful and totally, totally real. Okay, well, now we do have wild turkeys here at the park. I mean, obviously, since we are looking at one right now. Now, wild turkeys are a little bit complicated because they were previously wild here in California. And somewhat recently, even. We have lots of fossils from turkeys in the Pleistocene era. Now, Pleistocene era ended about 12,000 years ago. So, for us, that might seem like a long time. But geologically speaking, fossil record-wise, that's relatively recently. Now, the turkeys, however, that we have here are not those same turkeys. Actually, the turkeys were reintroduced from Texas and Oklahoma mainly, so these are not naturally, these are not native California wild turkeys. So that is a little bit complicated. In fact, there's a little bit of a debate on whether or not they have a negative impact and what kind of impact they have on those ecosystems. A little bit of a scientific debate there. For instance, the males can be kind of aggressive in the spring during breeding season. If you're ever around, you see them on the trail, they might get protective of the females and might even charge people. So definitely something to consider. I've been seeing these, I saw a bunch of them a couple of weeks ago, although right around the area here. This is the first one I've seen in a little while, though, so... there you go. That is our wild turkey. Oh, wow, that was just so lucky, you guys. I can't believe we got that lucky. Found a wild turkey right off the bat, and a big, beautiful, healthy one too. Didn't even see him that afraid of us, but I guess no females nearby. Didn't get aggressive. That was Whew, wow, that was just super lucky. So turkeys is one of the mainly ground birds here. Obviously, they don't fly or very far anyway. So not surprised. We might see another. Oh, actually, whoa! I'm seeing another ground bird. Let's see if we can check that out. Oh wow! California quail. Oh, it's falling asleep a little bit here. Let me. There we go. Oh wow, you guys! A California quail. Oh man, that's a nice plump one. They are known for being nice plump birds. Good for food. Different Ohlone tribes certainly would have hunted these guys for food. Quail is actually still, pretty popular as a commercial, No, the California quail has that doodly, but not everybody knows it's called a crest or a plume. So there you go. Learn something new. Maybe, hopefully. I guess I shouldn't assume. Now this one, oh man, this one is really nice. It is not running away from us. That's very good. Which is funny because these birds, if you've seen them, you might notice they tend to run away before they fly away. Pretty funny. Now, they mainly forage on the ground for seeds and leaves. They'll eat some berries like toyon. I think we saw some toyon in the chaparral from our video a couple weeks ago about ecosystems. And some insects as well. And they commonly are on the ground, although, of course, see that maybe they sometimes go in the trees as well. Oh, wow, California quail. Oh, thanks, California quail. Wow, that was nice. And wow, these wild birds we're finding are really photogenic, huh? That's lucky. That's pretty lucky. Well, let's see if we can find any others. We'll continue on our walk. Oh yeah, just a beautiful day. Oh, you guys hear that? Oh, guys. Look. Oh, man. Beautiful. It is a wren tit. Wow. Yeah, a wren tit. Oh, that's great. Now, you see they're a little smaller, think like a little smaller than a robin, for instance. So these are pretty small birds. Now, you may have never seen one of these before, because they are pretty shy. This one is amazingly gregarious, if you will. I think it likes the attention, but for the most part, these birds really don't like to be out in the open. They like to hide, and they'll stay in shady areas and canopies, and instead of going on perches or flying through patches of open sky. So they like to hide a little bit. But even if you haven't seen one, you've probably heard one. They have a pretty distinctive call. They actually make quite a few calls. The one I can maybe see if we can hey, can you call? Can you do a little call for us? Oh, thanks. Wow. And a ventriloquist, too, can do it without moving her beak, even. So if you've heard that kind of very high pitch, I've heard it described as sort of like a machine gun where it's kind of firing, or my favorite is like a bouncy ball that bounces, and every time it bounces less high. So it's that is at least what this one sounds like. They might sound a little bit better in the wild, but that's what this one sounds like. Maybe it's got a sore throat. So, wow, that is super lucky. I've heard lots of wren tits, but I've I don't know if I've ever seen one before. Wow, you guys must be my lucky charm or something, because I normally don't see this many stuff in such a short, quick, planned nature walk. But I'm seeing all kinds today. That's awesome. So great. Yeah. So again, if you're maybe just picking up, we're near the new entrance here on the near the Waterfall Connector Trail in Castle Rock State Park. So it's really interesting. You don't really have to go too far to find some pretty amazing birds, although I wouldn't expect to find quite so many amazing birds as we are finding right now. So don't maybe get your hopes too high up there. Oh, did you guys hear that? Oh my goodness, I think it sounds like a woodpecker. What's going on? Oh my goodness. Oh yes. Looks like we've got a couple of woodpeckers here. Well, that makes sense. Woodpeckers are really, big family birds, team birds, if you will. Woodpeckers, especially acorn woodpeckers like these, you can note the distinctive, where is it? There we go, the distinctive red patch. That would be their plume or crest. Now, these acorn woodpeckers not only team up, but they breed and nest, sometimes in groups, sometimes in pairs, one male and one female, but often in groups of up to 3 females and up to 7 males. They work together. In fact, the adolescents will even grow up and stay and help to raise the young acorn woodpeckers, the next generation of acorn woodpeckers. And to help, finish these huge granaries here where they store their acorns. Now, that is why they get their name, the acorn woodpecker. Not because they prefer acorns as their food source. Acorns, they do eat them. The advantage there is that they can store them here, keep them dry, and even if, they lose half of them to the bugs, they've got a good granary, they can have enough to keep them through winters. Now, what they really like to eat is flying bugs of all kinds. So preferably, they're going to eat those. I've also heard it said that sometimes the bugs will get into the acorns, and then the woodpeckers can just eat the bugs right out of the holes. So they prefer the bugs, but the bugs don't keep as well as the acorns, so they can store these up for the winter. Now, they work in teams, certainly. Like I said, the adolescents will help raise the next generation of woodpeckers and create these granaries, which can get up to 50,000, 100,000 holes. But they're also pretty competitive. Even within those breeding groups, a lot of times males will compete by trying to interrupt them when they're mating with females. They'll try to interrupt that. Females have been known to destroy other females' eggs, the ones that are co-nesting with them. So they can get competitive and teamwork, but they are definitely social birds, group birds, and they're not that afraid of humans. I see them pretty often around here. They really like dead trees. This one's not dead, but it's got a lot of exposed parts. It's not doing so great. A lot of exposed parts. I've seen them here, although I haven't noticed a granary. So these ones here, maybe they're starting one. Because they're totally real. We also have pileated woodpeckers here, which we don't usually see those, but wow, this is a find. A pileated woodpecker. You can tell a little bit different, more of a crested plume there. Same redness, although they've got a little redness below as well. Wow, that's lucky. Wow, pileated woodpecker, acorn woodpecker, all in one day. That is just wow. This is so lucky. I can't believe we are seeing so many totally real wild birds here in the park. I wonder if we can find like 1 or 2 last ones. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think we can find a couple more? Oh my goodness. Oh, I think we maybe just did. Wow. Oh man. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, wow. Okay, man. What are these? Hey, Lily. Okay, what are these? No, let's start with this one. Oh, wow. Look at that majestic raptor there. So that is a peregrine falcon. Now, I called it a raptor. That's just the kind of bird it is. Any bird really that hunts, any bird of prey is a raptor. Peregrine falcons are particularly impressive. They are the fastest animal on the planet. Now, you're probably thinking, whoa, hold up there, Alex. What about the cheetah? Well, now, the cheetah is the fastest land animal, and the cheetah is you might say it's the fastest animal that gets the fastest on its own power, maybe because it's using its legs and its muscles and everything. Whereas the peregrine falcon uses gravity and its incredible aerodynamic form to dive up to speeds of over 240 miles per hour. So that actually is the fastest bird and fastest animal. So no diss to the cheetah, which gets up to 75 miles an hour. That's awesome. That's amazing. But the peregrine falcon can dive over 240 miles per hour. Fastest animal in the world. The champion. Now, the peregrine falcon is not the only bird of prey here that we have. We have a number of them. One other one is, oh, wow, yes, our friend, the red-tailed hawk. Now, the red-tailed hawk is, okay, fun fact, trivia fact. If you've ever watched a movie or TV show or whatever where there's a bald eagle. I know, Lily, that's super lucky, huh? If you've ever watched a TV show or movie with a bald eagle, okay, and you hear that high piercing scream, okay, that was a terrible impersonation, I'm sorry, but you hear that high piercing scream with for the bald eagle. No, that's not a bald eagle. They always take the sound of the red-tailed hawk and put it over the bald eagle because it has that classic piercing, like partly majestic, partly frightening kind of perfect dramatic. I guess that's it. It's the more dramatic call. Eagles sound a little more awkward and funny. I would highly recommend, if you're able, looking up on something like the Audubon Society website. Or Cornell Lab or Ornithology Lab, something like that, to find a call, because it definitely does not sound like that. If you are hearing that in Hollywood, you are hearing the red-tailed hawk. And you can tell this one is chowing down. Well, I guess I interrupted her. She was chowing down. I think she's waiting for me to go before she finishes. But these are birds of prey. They'll eat just about anything. They prefer rodents and rabbits, stuff like that, but small mammals, that kind of thing. But they'll eat fish, reptiles, big insects, even other birds. They've been known actually to steal prey from other raptors. And sometimes they'll even eat carrion, dead stuff, if freshly dead stuff. So sometimes they can even be opportunistic scavengers, like our turkey vultures, for instance. Wow, man, you guys, thank you for coming along with me. You've been totally my lucky charm. I don't know if we're gonna see any more birds. Oh wait, hold up. What is this? Oh my goodness, you guys. It's a wild photo attribution page. Whoa, that's amazing. Okay. Wow, huh? Well, I guess somebody used all of these photos for some kind of video presentation about birds. And he probably couldn't have done it without these folks posting up their photos for free on Wikicommons. So I'm sure he's very appreciative of that. That's awesome. Wow. Never seen a wild photo attribution page before. But again, the birds here were all totally real, so I'm not exactly sure what that's about. Well, folks, we are just about out of time here, so I want to thank you again for joining on this amazing bird walk. Unfortunately, the park does remain closed, so I would again recommend that you look for updates on our social media platforms. We have Facebook and Instagram here, or go on to www.parks.ca.gov/flatten-the-curve for ongoing information about policies and closures. Well, thanks, folks. This is Alex signing out from Castle Rock. I'll see you later. See you next week. Oh, unless you're on Instagram, and then I'll see you at 11:30. All right. Bye, folks.